So, along with the way I talk about here about how I would start, I would also recommend somebody look into getting therapy or counseling. Most of us are obese for a reason, so I always recommend therapy. Hey there. I get a lot of people that ask me, if you were to start over again, how would you start over? And I've made various videos about it, but we all grow on our journey and learn new things, and so I've had some people ask me, so I'm going to explain it to you. In case you're new, I don't do good just talking. May have a little ADHD. It's all right. I'm functioning, but anyway, so I have to keep my hands busy. So if this is a distraction, just look away. But also, if you're new, my name is Terri Leist, and I've lost 180 pounds. I've done it through a meat-focused way of eating. Sometimes it was carnivore. I did carnivore for 2 years. I've also done keto and while counting calories. Now I'm in maintenance, and my maintenance, while I'm still meat heavy, I'm not necessarily as low carb as I was. So also I will say I don't wear all this makeup that you're going to see me put on today. I don't do this every day. I just do this when I'm making videos so that way I can say everything I have to say and not have to just sit here and talk to you all without doing something. That sounds terrible. Or I have to sit here and talk to you people. Anyway, so yeah. So today, that's what we're going to talk about is if I was to recommend for somebody to start, or if I woke up tomorrow and I was 340 pounds again, what would I do? So that's what we're going to talk about. And please, I have to start this off with, I am a nurse. I'm a registered nurse, but I am not your nurse. So all of this is my personal experience and my personal opinion. I am not into the whole science of all of this. I just know how my body worked. So, and know some of the things I've read about processed foods. So this is going to be just coming from me. Again, I'm not a doctor and I'm not a nutritionist. This is just my personal experience. So let's start. If I were to start off, and first let me tell you a little bit about my past. I was a binge eater. I would go home from work and I would stop at Burger King for a double Whopper, large fries, shake, and a soda. Then I would eat that, and then I would go into Walmart. I would pick up at least 1 or 2 stuffed crust pizzas. I would get 2 bags of tortilla chips. I would get a couple, 1 or 2, and these are family size bags. I would get 2 different types of Doritos, large family size bags. I would get a large sour cream, a large tub of salsa, because I would mix the 2 together. And I do apologize if this food naming is triggering, but I'm just telling you so you have context. I would also get a large container of queso. Then I would get 2, maybe 3 cans of Pringles. Actually, I preferred the cans of the Lay's chips instead of the Pringles. Then I would also definitely had to get some ice cream in there. And I would also pick up 2 or 3 family-sized bags of unwrapped candy, except for chocolate. I wanted to eat so fast that I didn't want to stop and unwrap a Starburst or unwrap a whatever. So I would purposely look for candy that was already unwrapped if I could find it. So I would buy that on a Friday evening, and Sunday evening, it would be gone. So all that would be consumed over a 2-day period. And yeah, so that was what I would do on most weekends. Coming home, at lunch, I would go out to eat and grab fast food. On my drive home, I would stop and buy fast food. So I was definitely a high consumer of highly processed foods. I also weighed 340 pounds. So I did it, like I said, through more meat focused. But if somebody was to come to me today and say, Terri, I'm 300 pounds or I'm 200 pounds, I'm 180 pounds, whatever, I'm 500 pounds and I need to know where to start. Okay, just where do I start? I would suggest that somebody first just shop the outer aisles. So if you think of our ancestors, obesity was not a problem. Now, granted, yes, they were outside working in the fields too. But if you think about the kind of foods that in the 1800s, 1700s, shoot, even in the early 1900s, that's so funny, I was born in 1972. Anyway, even in the 1900s, if you think about, would they recognize the food that I'm about to put in my mouth? Would they recognize a steak? Would they recognize ground beef? Would they recognize pork? Yes, those answers are yes. Would they recognize, and I wouldn't even start being selective about the type of veggies that I ate. Would they recognize cheese? Yeah. Would they recognize milk and cream? Absolutely. They had to churn it themselves. Would they recognize carrots? Yes. Would they recognize potatoes, sweet potatoes? So if you can think of, would our ancestors recognize the food that we are about to put into our mouth? That's the food you want to eat. Would they recognize a pizza? No. Would they recognize frozen ice cream? Maybe if they were living up where it was cold. Maybe if it was a special snow day and they decided to make some snow ice cream. Would they recognize potato chips? No. Would they recognize all the 26 ingredients that's in our bread today? No. So my suggestion to start off with is the outer aisles. I do understand, yes, you could go in the outer aisles for pickles. They might recognize pickles. They may have canned pickles. But my suggestion is get the no sugar added pickles. Or make your own if you want to. Would they recognize ketchup? No, but I've got to have some vices, So that's my thing. You go in the aisle for some seasonings, the middle aisles for seasonings. Go to the middle aisle for maybe some sauces, some salad dressing, things like that. But not for the food, the fully prepared food. They would not recognize that. They're not going to recognize a chicken and what did I used to get? I used to get a box. It was a chicken bake where it had the chicken already in a can and then the vegetables in a can and then the stuff you put on top of it. They wouldn't recognize all that stuff. So again, start with food that your ancestors would recognize. That's it. That's how I would start. Don't count calories. Don't track. Don't do anything. Because your first 3 weeks, a month is going to be you are going to have to learn how to cook. If you're like me, shoot. My mom kicked me out of the kitchen because I was always, what's this? Oh, pick it. I'd always touch it. Mom would say, Terri, don't touch it. It's hot. I'd wait till she turned around. Ow! So she would be like, honey, go play outside. Now, she would jokingly say, honey, go play in the traffic. But it was a joke. It wasn't serious. But anyway, so I did not grow up, and bless her heart, she tried. God love her. My mama tried to teach me, but I ain't no way I was going to be in that kitchen learning. So I had to spend those first 3-4 weeks learning how to cook. So I was looking up recipes. So that's something you can do during the initial phase. Look up recipes. Look up how to cook certain things. Hone your skills on making burgers in a skillet. If you're somebody who doesn't want to cook, then take a look at my meal preps, because let me tell you, your girl was not all about that cooking every night life at 300 pounds. So I would buy those frozen burgers and bake them in bulk. So that way during the week, I would have my meat. Or I would crock pot meat on the weekends. I made Saturday Terri Day. It was for my future health. So, spend a day during the week if you're not somebody, or on the week, whatever day you're off. If you're not somebody who wants to cook every night, then prep your stuff. But there's, like I said, I have a bunch of playlists on my channel, but focus on learning how to cook the foods that you are now trying to purchase and learn about. Again, I'm telling you, I don't wear this makeup every day. So anyway, because I always have people, you don't need all that makeup. I know I don't need all this makeup. I don't wear all this makeup, except for church or special events. Anyway, so yeah, the very first thing I would say is shop the outer aisle. Learn how to cook for the first month, 2 months, however long it takes for you to learn how to cook those foods, And then from there, wait a minute, I got to find my eyeshadow brush, or my eyeshadow brush. From there, say, all right, it's been about 2 months. I've already gone through the detox, because detox is not fun. I've already gone through the detox. Now what do? Well, is your scale still moving? Don't change nothing. Keep it just like it is. Is your scale stopped? Because I guarantee you, when you first shift to eating whole foods, your scale will move for a little while. It may move up at first, and that's okay. And then it's going to move down, because right now, if you're eating all the processed foods, your body is hanging on to a ton of water. They say for every ounce of water or every ounce of sugar, carbohydrate, whatever, sugar doesn't just mean, a carbohydrate doesn't just mean sugar. Carbohydrates mean bread, potatoes, chips, all those things are considered a carbohydrate. So when you first spend those first couple of months, in theory, you will probably lose a little bit of weight. But at some point, like I said, you're going to stall, because your body's like, okay, we've learned to like this food and we've adjusted. Now, what you got for us? At that stage, I would start looking at counting calories. And remember, I did not say take fruit out at the beginning, okay? Now, I would start tracking. You can just spend the first 2 weeks just tracking. You ain't got to judge yourself for it. Tracking is not about judgment. Here's the thing with weight loss. Weight loss isn't about judgment. Weight loss isn't about judging yourself and coming down on yourself. It's not about being hard on yourself if you do something wrong. Weight loss is data. Everything is data. It's just data. Just because, you read that, that day I had a candy bar. It's data, So if you can look at it in that way and not look at it as, I went to the family function and I ate this and that and the other. Okay, you did it. All right, cool. That's fine. Now, come on, let's do something different today, So you can't beat yourself up, because you have to live. You are a human, and we have to eat to live. So we are going to be exposed to food, but how we treat ourselves afterwards is very important too. Like if you beat yourself up and do something, if you beat yourself up and deprive yourself in some sort of different way than you normally eat, then that's not good for your mental health. So I'd say spend the first couple months, eating, and then the next, I'll say 2 months journaling, or writing down what you eat, every single bite. Some people are like, I think that's probably about 4 ounces of chicken, and that looks like about a cup of broccoli. No, that ain't how this works, because you can't guess, because guessing is how we got into place at the first time. how we got to, or how we got there in the first place. Guessing. Oh, I guess I can eat 5 slices of pizza. I guess I can eat a bowl of cereal. You know, that's how we got there in the first place. So no guessing. No guessing. You weigh it. And if you're in the middle of making something, you keep that scale handy. You set your scale on your counter. Well, I'm going to have a salad. Set your bowl on your scale. Add in some lettuce. All right. Well, I write down 100 ounces of lettuce. Add in some carrots. 20 ounces of carrots. Whatever it is, you build it on your scale. Everything. So, and let me tell you something. Don't worry about, does this say cooked beef or cooked steak or raw steak? Who cares? Your calories are about you and what you're eating. It doesn't matter if it's cooked or raw, if you're consistently using the same amount, because if you are using fully cooked beef at 300 pounds and you're still, they're having some fun over there, and you're still using fully cooked beef when you're 160 pounds, the data is the data and it doesn't matter. So pick whatever is going to be easier for you. If you choose to weigh it out raw before you cook it, rock on. If you choose to weigh it out after you cook it, rock on. Just stay consistent the whole time. But anyway, so spend the next 2 months tracking. Just gathering data. That's it. Again, no judgment. You're not judging yourself. It doesn't matter. You're just gathering data. So after those 2 months, what's your scale doing? Is it sitting still? Okay. Now look at your data. Look at your data. Take screenshots of your, or graph out, whatever you gotta do. I don't know what people do nowadays. Look at your macros. Look at your calories, your carbs, your fat, and your protein. Just look at them. Just look at them and write them all out, and think about your personal body. Does your body need to be, do you see a good amount of protein? So according to the experts, I ain't saying you should do this, but they say you should have 0.9 to 1 gram of protein for your ideal body weight. Now listen, that's not your goal weight. It's not your high school weight. That's what, if somebody was to look at your height and weight, your ideal body weight, that is what amount of protein you should have. So in theory, my body should be around 130 to 140. So I made my protein around 130 and around 130. Actually, I did 120 to 140. That was what I chose. So it's okay. Give yourself a wide range. You're not trying to be perfect with it, but give yourself a range. Make sure you're getting enough protein. And if you're not, all right, let's choose some leaner meats. Well, let's go with some leaner chicken. Let's go with some turkey. Let's add in a little bit. And it can have beef and turkey. Say, all right, well, how would my calories look if I had 4 ounces of beef and 4 ounces of chicken? I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there. You do you. I'm just saying. But so next, like I said, you want to look at your data, because now you've got the data, but what the heck are you going to do with it? And so now you have to figure out what to do to change, to get that scale moving. I had insulin resistance. And what that means is my body would make insulin for the amount of ice cream I ate, but then my body said it didn't recognize all the insulin. So my body had to produce more insulin. Well, excess insulin is stored as fat. So for me personally, at that stage, it's like, I need to go low carb. So that's the avenue I chose. You may choose to do vegan. You may choose to be whatever. I ain't telling you what to do. That's a you thing. But once you got your data and you're shopping the outer aisles and you're getting rid of the processed food, that's when you have decisions to make. So that's how I would start. I'd start in the outer aisles of the store. I would start not tracking. But then when the scale stops moving, start tracking. What I personally had to do was when my scale was about every 10 to 15 pounds that I would lose, I had to redo my calories. I didn't go by what my Fitness Pal said. Because again, if I'm using cooked meats, my calories aren't going to fit what that fancy stuff says. So I did the option to, all right, my scale stalled. And listen, if your scale stands still for 2 weeks, that ain't a stall. That's just a bump. That's just your body saying, well, we need to adjust. So you are going to have long periods of not losing weight, okay? You are. And I will tell you that during those times is when my body would shift to fit the fat loss. Because it's during those times that people would say, girl, are you losing more weight? And I'd be like, no, I ain't lost any in 6 weeks and I'm mad. And, but that's when your body is shifting. So don't get mad at yourself during a stall. Your body says, we have things to do and we don't care what you want us to do. We have to do what we have to do. So don't be mad at yourself during a stall. It's natural. I guarantee you I had about 25, 30 stalls on my 180-pound weight loss journey. And one of them was 7 months. So, it's your body. Your body, you give your body what it needs to survive, and it's going to choose what it needs. You might be having an infection going on that you don't know about. You might have a bug. You might have the norovirus, and your body's like trying to fight it off. You might have a cut. You might have, kidney infection that you don't know about. So you can't get mad at your body for doing what your body is designed to do. Your body is designed to take the healthy food and use it where it needs to use it. So when you have a stall for 4 to 6 weeks, that would be considered a stall. So when you've hit that stage, that's when you look at your data again. You say, well, right now I've been doing good at 2,000 calories. I wonder, how about I change it to 1,900 calories or 1,850 to 1,900 calories. So then you look at your food and you reevaluate, and how can I get 1,900, 1,850 calories? For me, that usually meant taking away about 1 ounce of meat. I can't around there. Don't quote me now, but around 1 ounce of meat is how I was able to break my stall. So if I was eating 9 ounces of cooked meat, I would switch to about 8 ounces of cooked meat. And remember, at that time, I was prepping. So I was cooking things on the weekend. So then I was weighing it out and putting it in, I was portioning it out. So by portioning it out, I knew exactly what I was eating. So or if you're somebody that's been cooking every day and you weigh out your meat after you cook it, then pull out 1 ounce of it. So again, you have to tailor this to your personality and your needs. Because some people are going to be like, I'm going to cook every day from the beginning. Not me. I wasn't about that life. I wasn't going to stand, deal with humans 40 hours a week, 8, 9 hours a day, come home, and then stand at the oven, at the skillet. I wasn't about that life. I am now. I love it now. But at that stage, I was not about that life. So, that's the thing is I can tell you certain things, but you got to tailor it for you and what you're going to want. But anyway, so back to the thing. I had to lower my calories about every 10 to 15 pounds. Somewhere in there. Don't quote me on it. But whenever it's your body. You can't just say, Terri, how many calories should I be eating? Heck if I know. Terri, why am I stalled? Heck if I know. Are you charting? Are you writing it down? And I will say 90% of the time when somebody emails me, because all my stuff is in the description of my video, so you could always email me. I'm slow. You people message me on Facebook, and you can ask them people. It'll take me 2-3 days, but you know, it's just me doing this. So I got work, and I got dogs, and I got to eat. So I'm very slow at answering stuff, so don't take offense. I had one lady send me an email. I didn't answer in 4 hours, and she wrote another letter all pissed off at me. Anyway, so shoot me an email, but I can tell you my very first question, are you writing down what you're eating? And 90% of the time, no. Well, I'm not going to tell you what you're doing wrong if you're not writing it down. So if you cannot write it down and send me what you're eating and what your macros look like, I ain't got an answer for you. That's just how it is. You've got to have the data if you're having issues. You got to have the data, period. So that's how I would start off. Now I know this is just about starting. So this is how I would start if I were to lose weight again. You know, as far as how I would handle it day to day, you know, you can go back. I have my, again, I've got a bunch of playlists on my channel. You can watch me live of when I was losing the weight. You can see me at 340 pounds. You can see me doing carnivore. You could see me doing keto. So go to the home tab of my channel and look at my playlist. And if you're carnivore and you want to know how I lost 60 pounds on carnivore, go to that playlist. If you're keto and you want to know how I lost 94 pounds doing keto, go to that playlist. So, or if you want to see how I did my meal preps, and if you want to see some fun special recipes, you know, I've got my Sunday specials. Or if you want to enter the world of rutabaga, I've got a rutabaga playlist. So just go to my channel, see what playlists strike your fancy. But you can go back and you can watch me at 340 pounds as I lost weight. So, yeah. So that's that. And those are the things, where my lipstick go. Those are the things that I would do. That's what I would recommend for somebody. Again, I do not say somebody has to be keto, somebody has to be carnivore, somebody has to be low carb. Whew, that's flat. We are all different. We all have different needs. You might need vegan. You might need vegetarian. I don't know you. I don't know your body. So you do what's going to work best for your body. But what I can say is we all need to get rid of the processed foods and focus on foods that our ancestors would recognize. So there's my 2 cents. And I just wanted to share with you, because people have asked me, and I have old videos, but I don't think I have any newer ones. So I thought, well, all right, I'll share with you. So there you go. That's my 2 cents of where I'd start, no matter where I was. And if I were to gain 180 pounds back, or if I was to gain 50 pounds back, I would, you know, data. It's honestly first about cleaning out, getting rid of the center aisle foods, shop the outer aisles. Whether you choose to have snacks at first, that's up to you. You know, if you choose to have like veggies dipped in cream cheese or whatever, that is a you thing. I can't tell you whether you need snacks or not. I did need snacks from the beginning to bridge me over into this way of eating. I definitely needed snacks because, you know, when I was used to eating so much, it's what I had to do. So, hang on, looking for my teasing brush. Look, it's just flat. It's bugging me. Anyway, so yeah, so I would, you know, just focus on the outer aisles, and I think that is the key thing, and learning how to cook those outer aisle foods. Any other last words of wisdom? Ooh, Nelly, I know. Remember, the bigger the hair, the closer you are to Jesus. No, the higher your hair, the closer you are to Jesus. I guess that's really all I got to say. That's my 2 cents. So Stop eating the processed foods. Stop eating foods that our ancestors would be like, what is that? You know? So stop eating those things. Yes, I know they would recognize bread, but would they recognize what's in bread? Those 26 ingredients, would they recognize all those names? No, they wouldn't. So, all right, I love y'all, and I will see you later. This is a long video. I'm sorry. Bye.